Tonight is the night. Bright lights, high crowd. Yeah, we came to throw down. Everybody get loud. Tonight is the night. A-list can't miss when we burn it to the ground. Everybody get down. Tonight is the night. We stay climbing while our faith kept rising. Steady climbing, now we on top.
Hello, one and all, and welcome to my review for Monday Night Raw, the September 14th edition, the season premiere of WWE's flagship show. This was also the go-home edition going into Night of Champions. So, did World Wrestling Entertainment do enough? Did they build enough? The excitement, the hype going into Sunday's pay-per-view? We're going to find out in this review. And by the end of it, you're going to know what I thought of this show and what grade I gave it. So let's kick off this season premiere. Even though I don't really get the season premiere tag, I mean, whatever. It's whatever they want to do. So, how do we kick off this season premiere of Monday Night Raw? With the Authority. Although, usually, I'm tired of it. It's played out. I'm sick of seeing the Authority open Raw or some Rollins. It just goes on and on and on. This was actually okay because it wasn't the greatest, but it was short. It was under 10 minutes, and basically they came out and they said this is the season premiere of Raw. They said there's going to be a tag title match. It's going to be the Divas Championship match, and they also said that for the first time ever on Raw, Sting will be competing one-on-one against The Big Show. So, yeah, I wasn't too excited about that. I was thinking maybe Sting and Cesaro, or Sting and Dolph Ziggler, or Sting and Rusev, or Sting and Stardust, with a young guy, but The Big Show. So, we'll get to that later. But, this was okay. It's the Authority, and, they kind of set the tone for the rest of the night. But what I did like is, at the end of this, they transitioned into the tag title match, and the New Day came out, and they were clapping, and shucking and jiving, and all that good stuff. And then Stephanie started to dance along with them, and then they're like, come on, Triple H, you want to dance too. And then he started dancing, so that was fun to see. We need to see more of that. Let's just have fun. That's what makes NXT so great. Let's just have a good, fun time. So it was an okay way, I guess, to start the show. We had our first contest of the evening. We had the New Day versus the Primetime Players. And what could I say? I love seeing these guys wrestle. Every time I've seen them at a house show. We saw them at Battleground. They just put on really good matches, and this was a good tag title match. And I loved seeing Xavier Woods play the trombone outside. Oh, man, that's just great. That's what we need more of, right? There was a perfect example. New Day is on fire right now. They are so entertaining. The crowd was split 50-50. New Day rocks, New Day sucks. Eventually, Darren, he took a lot of the punishment in the match from the New Day. He eventually got the hot tag to Titus O'Neil. The real deal, Titus O'Neil. And, however, Titus pulled the slide off the trombone, but that was a good enough distraction for Big E and Kofi to eventually take out Titus, and they were able to retain their tag titles. And then afterwards, the Dudley Boys appeared. So this means now, at Night of Champions, it's going to be the New Day versus the Dudley Boys. And I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, so we'll get later on, by the end of this week, I will have my full predictions for Night of Champions. So stay tuned to that. Short little plug. So that was good. I enjoyed that. And then we had Paige versus the Boss, Sasha Banks. I like what they're developing here. A little rivalry going on. I mean, they faced off last week on Raw. And, this was okay. It wasn't I think last week they had a much better match. But for what they were given here, it was all right. Paige, she was out there with her other Team PCB member Becky Lynch, and then Sasha was out there with Tamina and Naomi as well. So eventually the numbers game caught up to Paige, and Sasha was able to get the submission win with the bank statement and made Paige tap out again. So Sasha remains undefeated on Raw. That's great to see. And then afterwards there was a beatdown on Paige, so I liked seeing that. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with Paige, and as we'll see later on in the night, how future events from this show might transpire going into Night of Champions. Then we had Miz TV with the Wyatt family, and I really liked this. I thought this was a great segment, because it was weird seeing, the Wyatt family on Miz TV. I don't think they've ever been on it before, and just the way they threw the Miz around like the piece of crap that he was, and they reiterated how they took out Jimmy Uso and Orton, and they want that same fate to be exhibited upon Reigns and Ambrose. And then eventually Reigns and Ambrose arrived, and they came down. And, Reigns, I liked this. He was very fired up. He said, I'm going to kick your ass. We're going to kick your ass, along with our third partner. But we know who that is, and you're going to find out Sunday at Night of Champions. So I like the tense stare down between the Wyatts and Reigns and Ambrose, and I'm really curious to see who that third man is. And I liked how they didn't spoil it here. They kept you wanting to see what will happen at the pay-per-view, so that was smart. So this was a good segment. I really enjoyed it. Then we had a match that I actually wasn't looking that much forward to. I wasn't really looking forward to at all. But it was actually a good match. It was John Cena versus Sheamus. Now, I've seen these guys wrestle, many times in the past, but I think it's been a while since the last time I saw them fight one another. So this match was made by The Authority earlier on in the night, and like I said, it was a good match. They eventually got it going. The crowd was into it, so unlike last week with Orton and Sheamus, at least this week the crowd was into it with Cena being out there. So there were some good near falls in this match. Eventually, Cena was able to pick up the win with the AA. And, what can I say? I thought it was a much better match than my expectations were for it. So that was Cena and Sheamus. Then we have a highlight of the show that I really enjoyed. It was Ryback. He was out in the ring cutting a promo, and then Kevin Owens came out to confront him. And he said he read this book that Ryback was talking about. It was called The Secret, how it really helped Ryback, persevere and chase his dreams of becoming a WWE wrestler. And Owens basically said, this is a piece of crap. It's garbage. You don't need it. And basically, Ryback countered by saying, I respect you, Owens, and how long it took for you to make it here to WWE. And that Owens, one funny part was he tried to throw the book out, he missed, and Ryback got on him for it. And then he threw it out again, and then the cover of the book didn't fall off. So then Owens crumpled it up and then threw it in Ryback's face. And Owens was like, I can't wait for my opportunity to take that title from you. And then Ryback said that he went to the Authority and they granted him a title match at Night of Champions because all titles must be defended. So it will be Ryback versus Kevin Owens at Night of Champions, and I am looking forward to that match very much. So that could be a very hard-hitting physical match. I've always wanted to see these two go at it, so I think it's a nice addition to the card. And, what can I say? Then we had a short segment. You might have missed it, but it built to the kickoff match for Night of Champions. It was supposed to be Neville versus Stardust, and Stardust with his newly formed group, the Cosmic Wasteland, with the Ascension. There's been some tension between Neville, Stardust, the Ascension, and the Lucha Dragons have been helping Neville out. And then Neville came out. He went to the ring, and then he just started getting his ass kicked by Stardust and the Ascension. And then the Lucha Dragons came out, and they were able to send Stardust and the Ascension running from the ring. And then it was announced that there will be a 6-man tag with the Lucha Dragons and Neville versus the Ascension and Stardust. So even though it's on the kickoff, I wish they were doing more with Neville and the Lucha Dragons, the Ascension, Stardust. You guys are so talented. I still think it'll be a good match, and hopefully this leads to bigger and better things for all 6 of these men. Then we get to the most controversial part of Monday Night Raw. We had Charlotte versus Nikki Bella for the Divas Championship. And if Nikki would have lost, she would have tied AJ Lee's record. However, that was not the case. Nikki won. And there's a lot of controversy in how this happened. Basically, they started the match. Charlotte came out swinging, and then eventually, we'll get to the end of the match because that's the most important thing. So, basically, Alicia Fox tried to appear, get in the ring, and distract. However, Brie Bella also interfered as well, but Charlotte was able to take down Brie. They did the twin magic switch thing, and the ref counted as Charlotte rolled up Brie, 1, 2, 3, and we all thought Charlotte had won the Divas Championship. However, Stephanie came out and said that there would be no title change tonight, and still your Divas Champion was Nikki Bella. And however, on Sunday, if Nikki gets counted out or there is a DQ, Charlotte will be the Divas Champion in this rematch at Night of Champions. But as a result of this twin magic thing, Charlotte did not win the title, and Flair was out there with her, and she was upset. I was pissed. A lot of people online were pissed as well. I don't know how to really feel about this. I do admit it builds. I'll give it one thing. It does build for you to want to see Charlotte win at the pay-per-view. So I'm hoping that's what happens. But Nikki Bella is now the longest reigning Divas Champion. She beat AJ Lee's record. Not really happy about that. A lot of people are upset. I'm going to wait and see what happens at Night of Champions and go from there. I just really wanted this women's revolution to happen, and I feel like until that title is off Nikki, it ain't going to happen. So I hope Charlotte wins at Night of Champions, and they would change that god-awful title back to the Women's Championship, because these are women's wrestlers, not divas. That term needs to go. It's outdated. It sucks. Can we please have a women's revolution in WWE? Can we have... This should have been the main event. And it should have been Charlotte either winning or Paige costing her and turning heel. But why would we have the women main event Raw? I mean, I thought this was the right time, the right place. That was another thing that upset me about it. Happened at the 10 o'clock hour, going to the third hour. But this does put more heat on Nikki Bella. That is true. I mean, even though they've been not really clear about is she a face, is she a heel, she's kind of in between. But Nikki Bella, as a result, is the longest reigning Divas Champion. Then we had a match between Cesaro and Rusev. It was okay. I've seen them have better matches, but it was nice to see Cesaro get the win in this match. And then outside the ring, thanks to the distraction Dolph Ziggler gave Summer Rae a little gift, and this upset Rusev so much that Cesaro was able to get the win with a roll-up. So that was great to see. And then afterwards, Dolph got into the ring and hit Rusev with a super kick. So I'm pissed that they're not doing anything with Cesaro, but I have a scenario for him to be involved at Night of Champions that I hope they go with. But we'll get to that in my predictions video on Friday. But it was interesting to see here, the developments. I'm kind of hoping that this feud wraps up at Night of Champions, because without Lana, I feel like it's really lost steam. So Cesaro was able to pick up the win, and then afterwards, in the back, Rusev was upset. He was throwing a tantrum. And then Summer opened up the gift, and it was like a little necklace or something. And then Rusev yelled at her, and then she eventually went into his locker room. So that was that. Then we had Sting versus Big Show. Sting made his entrance. It was great to see Sting compete for the first time ever on Monday Night Raw. However, Rollins appeared. And Cena came out and made a run in to save Sting, and then there was a bell rang, went to no contest, or DQ, excuse me, and then Triple H and Stephanie were outside, and then Hunter announced this will now be a tag team match, and it was okay. It wasn't really anything great. Cena took a lot of punishment from Rollins and Show. He eventually was able to get the hot tag to Sting. Sting was able to hit a couple Stinger splashes. And Cena took out Big Show with the AA. And then I was surprised to see Sting lock in Rollins for the Scorpion Deathlock and actually made him tap out. And Cena and Sting won. And then that's how we closed out the show. So that must mean that at Night of Champions, Sting will not be winning the WWE title, which sucks because he does deserve it and he should win it. But yeah, that was Raw. Overall, I thought it was a much better show than the past couple of weeks. I know people were very upset about the Divas Championship outcome, and I was too. And but overall, I did enjoy this show personally. So I'm going to be giving it a B- this week. B- is what I'm giving it. So yeah, those were my thoughts and opinions on Raw. Got some content coming to the channel this week. I got my NXT review on Wednesday, my Night of Champions predictions video on Friday, my review with my friends who will be joining me for Night of Champions. They're coming over. So that's something else to look forward to. And I might even be doing live reactions for certain matches during Night of Champions, so stay tuned to that. If you like what you saw, please click that subscribe and like button. Thank you to everyone who watches this video and all my other videos. And yeah, that's all I got. So I am out. Peace.